All right, hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. So today I just wanted to do kind of a quick kind of update, recap of kind of where we're at with the Voice Caddie SC4 device. I've had it for about 2 months now, and I just kind of wanted to kind of go through some of the good and some of the bad that we've seen with the device to this point. Then after we kind of go through a few things, I'm gonna try to keep the video as short as I can, so we'll just kind of touch on the highlights, but then I'll also kind of give my recommendation here at the end of the video on whether or not you should buy the device or maybe wait a little bit. All right, so we'll kind of hit the bad things first. So there's probably a few main sticking points that kind of have been not so great to this point with the device. One I would say is the My Voice Caddie app. If you guys go into either the Android or iOS Play Store, you'll quickly see that if you look at that app, like it's really rated poorly. And most of those poor ratings have kind of come here recently. It seemed like the device or the app worked pretty well with the SC300 device, just fine. But most users have kind of complained ever since they've kind of revamped the app with the launch of the SC4, and you've got crashes, you've got kind of like little bugs. One of the things that I hated, it seemed like even if I took my iPad out there with me to the range outdoor, you had to have an active internet connection, and it almost wanted GPS location as well. Otherwise, like it wouldn't even allow you to launch the app, which is just complete and total crap. For something like this, like it's making a Bluetooth connection between the device and your phone or your tablet, it should be able to connect and provide that data without needing internet or GPS location. Second thing I had kind of an issue with in the app is kind of something I touched on in my app review, which was like I think the second video I posted, is the customization of the bag. Like you still can't really, I would say, customize your bag to the point of like just the exact clubs that you carry. Like there's a bunch of default clubs kind of loaded in there when you start, and you can't delete any of the default clubs. You can only try to somewhat rename them, you know, so that you don't have to scroll through them or you accidentally pick them or choose them. So that's still something I feel like that needs to be addressed, and hopefully that will be addressed in a future update. All right, the second kind of big pain point for me with the device is more recent video I just did of the short chip demo. Basically, it can't pick up short shots very well. I don't know if you guys saw that video, you kind of see what I mean. If not, you might want to go take a look at that one before you buy the device. Essentially, when the device launched on the product description page, I remember them saying that the measurement was going to be between 10 yards and 370 yards. Well, since the launch, they've gone back and updated their product page to now it says that the measurement distance or data is between 20 yards and 360 yards. And where that comes in big is going to be for simulation, because if it can't pick up a shot less than 20 yards very accurately, then anytime you get just off the green and you know maybe you need a 10 or 15 or even 20 foot shot to the pin, like it's going to make you almost hit like a 15 or 20 yard shot. So you're automatically putting yourself probably 25, 30, 45 feet past the hole, which is just, it's really going to become frustrating when you're playing simulation because of that. All right, and then the main thing, the main sticking point on this device is the fact that it doesn't have a measurement or a calculation right now for side spin or spin axis. So you're not going to get any kind of shot shape. You're not going to get any draws. You're not going to get any fades. Basically, your shot shape is going to be straight, and if you kind of push it a little bit at impact, it's going to go off to the right. If you kind of hit it straight those first few feet to your target line, it's just going to register as a straight shot. And obviously, if you pull it a little bit, then it's just going to be a straight pull. Hopefully this is something that they can update with, or update in the future to give at least, if not a measured actual reading or number, then at least a calculated one, kind of like the Garmin R10 does. Because if they don't, then this device to me is going to kind of fall in that gamification, that OptiShot 2 kind of area, just because it's not going to really be, truly accurate to where you can actually work on things and provide an improvement tool for you in your game. All right, now that I've kind of touched on the bad stuff, let's kind of go over some of the good things I do like about the device. One, I like the fact that it has its own display. The other things in the price point, like the Garmin R10 or the MLM2 Pro, they don't have an on-device display. So what I was really hoping to get out of this device is be able to just throw it down at the range, before maybe a quick warm-up session before a round, or even like on a long range session, and just basically throw it down, line it up real quick, and then just start hitting shots, hitting balls, and just being able to get numbers and get accurate numbers quickly. So I do love that about the device, that it's easy to set up, that it has a display. The display is bright. It works very well, even outdoors. Also, one thing that I've kind of been impressed with the device is the amount of no reads. Like, I feel like it picks up almost most every shot. Like 95 to 97% of the shots that I've hit with this thing, like I've gotten data for. And I can't say that when I first started with the Garmin R10 because it had a huge issue when it first launched. Like if you had any kind of like slight club waggle before you actually took your shot, it would misread that club waggle as you starting a shot, and then it wouldn't be available when you actually swung the club. And so they have since, yes, addressed that. But for a device like this from a company like Voice Caddie that really hasn't made a simulation device to this point yet, I've been impressed with the fact that it does read almost every shot. Now, unless you saw my RCT video, I will definitely say you do not want to use an RCT ball because I think it maybe read 10, maybe 15% of the shots that I took with the RCT ball. This device is not capable of using that type of ball. It causes interference, apparently, and it causes a lot more no reads than if you just use your typical regular ball. And then the third thing that I'd say that I've been somewhat impressed with, they are a much smaller company. I want to say that they probably have like about 100 employees, whereas like a company like Garmin has like 19,000 employees. So you expect somebody like Garmin and their size, they would be able to bring a new product to market and update it pretty regularly, pretty frequently, pretty quickly. With Voice Caddie, only having 100 employees and it being a much smaller company, you don't expect them to probably be able to update at that pace. But I have been impressed with the fact that they've had at least 2 firmware updates since I've had the device, and I think it even had one just prior to me getting it. I will say I've seen data improvements with the firmware updates. Beforehand, when I first got the device, it could not read spin number over 9,000. It pretty much kind of maxed out at like 8,500 and 9,000. But then after these last couple of updates, it reads just perfectly fine. Now, it won't read out on the display of the device because I think it's still limited kind of to 4 characters. But in the My Swing Caddie app and even in like the E6 software, like if you hit a shot that has 11,000 or 12,000 or 12,500 spin, it is accurately showing that number now. So I have been impressed with their ability to update and the frequency of updates, and it seems like the device is getting better with every update. So that does give me some hope that we get another 3 months, 6 months down the road, and maybe this would be a device that is very comparable to the accuracy of maybe a Garmin R10 device. All right, with that being said though, I would not recommend purchasing this device right now. I don't think the accuracy is there for it to be an improvement tool. Like I said, I kind of mentioned before, it's kind of more in that gamification, OptiShot 2 kind of level. Like it's kind of something fun to play with. It might give you some accurate numbers, but if you don't have something else to compare it to, it's going to be kind of hard for you to tell exactly what is accurate, what is not. So I don't think it's in that space just yet to be an improvement tool. But I mean, it is something that I do think that will continue to get better with each update. But right now, I would not recommend purchasing the device if you're looking to improve, especially at the price point that it's at, because it's basically almost at the same price as a Garmin R10, and I think that's a much more useful tool currently at that price point. Now, if Voice Caddie doesn't come through and update the device to where it gets to that level of accuracy, then at least I'd hope that they would, in the future, lower the price of this device, because if it is going to be in that gamification type area of devices, then I think it probably needs to be at the $450 price range or maybe even the $400 price range. All right, and so just to kind of give you guys a peek into what's coming up on the channel, I have actually, because it doesn't really benefit me even on the range, I went ahead and returned my SC4 device for 2 reasons. One, like I said, it's not accurate enough for me to kind of use right now for any kind of purpose. But then 2, I really wanted to try out the Orion OptiShot software, and they keep kind of delaying the simulations coming kind of thing with the SC4. So I returned the SC4 and I've ordered basically an Orbit, which is the same device through OptiShot and the partnership that they have with Voice Caddie. So it will be the same launch monitor, so I'll still be able to kind of do videos and update you guys on what the device is actually doing. But I'm really excited to try to actually play some of the courses and get into the software and dig into that Orion software that OptiShot offers with the device. So if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, you might want to make sure you do so if you're interested in that device and that software, because that's going to be the content that I'll probably be releasing here over the next couple of weeks. I'm going to try to go through and just kind of show the different modes, kind of how the numbers, if they're more accurate, kind of like they were in the E6 software compared to just the SC4 and its software. And then we'll try to go through a lot of the course play and show you the courses and stuff as well. So, all right, that does it for today, guys. Leave me some comments down below. Let me know if there's anything in particular you want to see with the Orbit device. And hope you all have a great day, and we'll catch you next time.